Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the CRC for their efforts that they have done to reach here today. Many Gambians have been yearning for a new constitution, and we have a draft here for us to debate on it. I can see that there are many provisions that many Gambians are happy with. For example, the term limit, 2 terms. It is good for term limit to be in our constitution because we Africans have the attitude of overstaying. Presidents like to stay for more than 15 years, 20 years, which doesn't favor our country or our continent at large. So coming up with a provision in the draft one, I'll be very glad to support provisions like that one. And the autonomy of local governments and their financial independence. The draft constitution has indicated in the draft constitution will help it is also gender balance. It is advocating for gender and for the youth as well. So, and there are so many others which I cannot mention at the moment because I cannot take the time of the whole assembly. But there are some provisions that I have objects that I am not in support of those sections, which one of them is constitution, that the constitution cannot be challenged in courts. We are in a democratic world now. This is not democracy. We should recall that we should recall about the case of Kemeseng Jammeh and about the case of Honorable nominated member Yakumba. They had cases and they challenged it to the courts and they won. And this is why Honorable Yakumba is still here. So if you happen to put this into our constitution, okay, no problem.
Point of clarification. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member for Serakunda, point of? Honorable Member
It's point of clarification. He's allowing me.
Do you allow him to?
Sure, I allow him.
You can go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I just didn't want to extend the debate. The supremacy of the Constitution is also under the 1997 Constitution. You look at it, it's the same. It's almost like a carbon copy. Honorable Speaker, what it is saying is clear that the Constitution and laws of the Gambia. So you may look at the draft Constitution, you will see almost the same thing, is that this Constitution is the supreme law of the Gambia, and any other law found to be inconsistent with any provision of this Constitution shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. So it's the supreme law. It is not saying, in fact, what it's telling you is that if laws are made and actions done that are in contravention, you can go to the courts and challenge it. That's what it is saying. So it's not saying you cannot, you can challenge, and it's in fact giving you the basis to do your challenge. And that's why those cases you mentioned happen.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Banjul Central. You may proceed.
And secondly, the appointment of judges and ministers. There are some appointments that are political. It cannot come to the parliament, I believe, because appointment of ministers should be from the executive, should be from the president. If we can say that if the president should appoint ministers, cabinet ministers, there should be requirements that the ministers should have qualifications and experience. I will agree. But those things should be left to the executive. There should be separation of power. The powers of all the three arms of government should be given to them. If, like for example, the powers of the National Assembly is limited, or the judiciary or the executive, they will not be able to work properly as they should. And even the appointment of judges. So public appointments should not come here. We have an example here. Just few months ago, some of my colleagues, member for Basse, tried to explain, but he was not mentioning the exact problem that happened here. And the member for Java West, sorry, Java Central. But I will mention it. The appointment of Njai Ndao and Mr. Diba. The debate here was political, we all know. So appointments like that should be left with the executive to do that. Coming to the election of the speaker, I believe the speaker should be from the elected members, not from outside. Ghana is practicing the same thing. The speaker of the National Assembly will be from the elected members. If the member for Banjul happen to win the election, a by-election will happen in his constituency, and another member of parliament will replace him, and then he will be the speaker. So it's fair enough for the speaker to be among the elected members than to be from outside. And I want to talk about citizenship too. We have to be fair enough. We have to give people their rights and their privileges. We have so many Gambians who are outside. And in all our prayers, in all our gatherings, we pray for them to have papers. And we don't want people to have our citizenship here, who have the right and the privilege to have them. We have Gambians, we have a Gambian who was the mayor in the United States, Muriaya Sise, for two terms. In this Scandinavia, we have councillors who are Gambians. And for Muriaya Sise, he was born and brought up and educated in the Gambia. He didn't spend all of his life in the United States. He acquired citizenship there. We have a Gambian who is a parliamentarian in Scandinavia. So we have to be fair enough. We have to reason. And it shouldn't be automatic for somebody whose grandparents are Gambians to have automatic citizenship to be Gambian. We have a population of almost 2 million. If we happen to do that, next 5 years, we will be 10 million. All Senegalese will be Gambians, believe me. So we are talking about so many things, merits, demerits, and the like, but we have to take our time. And people are saying that we spent so much money in this constitution, so we have to approve it. It's not like that. Spending millions doesn't mean that we have to approve it. If we have some things that will not favor us, that will harm us tomorrow, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. And we always call for new Gambia, new Gambia. Yes, we accept that we are in a new Gambia, but doesn't mean that we should compulsory have a new constitution. We should compulsory move to a third republic. So, with these objections that I have here, to be quite honest, if they still happen to be in the constitution, I will not support the constitution. That's my take. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Banjul Central. Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to take part in this very important debate that we're doing today. And also let me join my colleagues to thank the CRC